They ignored the missing women. They called them addicts. They said they probably ran away. But for more than 40 years, a man was hunting in plain sight, moving from state to state, leaving bodies behind, and no one noticed until he decided to talk. And what he confessed shocked America forever. Samuel Little was born in the summer of 1940 in Georgia, in a house that was chaotic and full of noise. He never knew stability, never knew love. His mother worked in the streets, and he was left alone. 4 long hours, bouncing between relatives who didn't really care about him. School wasn't safe either. He got picked on, beaten, laughed at, but deep down something dark was growing inside him, something that would later turn into one of the most horrifying stories in American criminal history. He watched the world differently, learning from rejection, coldness, and loneliness shaping inside himself a sense of control over everyone around him. As he got older, he became more aggressive trouble. With the law started in his teenage years, petty theft fights, minor assaults. It seemed small, but these were only early signs of something much darker, something no one could fully understand. He moved without boundaries, without supervision, without real punishment. There was no one watching him, no one guiding him, and he started thinking that the world belonged to the strong. In his early 20s, Samuel drifted between states, having no permanent home or stable job. Every city was a new playground, every street a new opportunity to test his control over others. By the 1970s, his criminal path took a much darker turn. He started targeting women from marginalized communities, drug addicts, sex workers, homeless women. He chose carefully women whose disappearance would go unnoticed, women society didn't care about. Every choice was deliberate, calculated, precise. His method of killing was cold and efficient. No guns, no knives, just his hands. He would approach a woman kindly, talk to her, gain her trust, then offer her a ride. When he got her somewhere isolated, he would suddenly strike. He would strangle her with his hands until she went silent forever. Many of these deaths were recorded as overdoses or unexplained fatalities. Different states treated each case separately, and for decades, no one connected the dots. This geographical spread made him invisible to law enforcement, even as his victims accumulated silently. Samuel remained undetected, in part because of who he targeted. Most of his victims were poor street workers or addicts women society largely ignored. He exploited this gap perfectly, living in the shadows while his crimes spread across the country, leaving almost no trace. Outwardly, he appeared normal, even unremarkable, but inside he was living a world of darkness, controlling lives, deciding fates, planning killings with the precision of a master. This pattern lasted for decades. He moved through Florida, Texas, California, Arizona, Ohio, North Carolina, and more. There was no clear link between the crimes. Each state handled it as an isolated case, and police at the time had no real way to connect them. Meanwhile, Samuel carefully navigated his double life, moving with precision, calculating every step, every choice, making sure the world never caught up to him. The turning point came in 2012. He was arrested on a simple drug charge. No one realized that this routine arrest would unravel decades of horrific crimes. A DNA sample was taken, and it matched a murder case from the 1980s. More matches surfaced as investigators revisited old files. When confronted with the evidence he initially denied everything, then he started confessing. Not just a few murders, he admitted to killing 93 women over decades. And the details he provided were chilling. Where each murder happened, what the victim wore, their facial expressions, every tiny detail that only someone who lived it could know. He even drew rough sketches of some victims from memory. Authorities checked every detail against old case files, confirming dozens of murders and revealing victims previously unknown. He recounted the crimes calmly, as if he were narrating ordinary events, showing no remorse. Every victim was another part of his masterpiece, another detail in the dark painting of his mind. Even in prison, he remained calm, detached, almost proud, talking about his crimes as if they were just part of his daily life. He died in 2020 at age 80, leaving a legacy of terror that still haunts investigators and a long trail of victims whose stories had gone untold for decades. Samuel Little's story isn't just a tale of serial murder. It's a warning of how evil can hide in plain sight, living for decades without anyone noticing, and how vulnerable people can be when the world ignores them. Each victim had a life, dreams, memories, All ended violently, and only through understanding Samuel could the true horror be revealed. Even today, he remains a chilling example of real-life terror, not just because of what he did, but because of how he lived, moved, and thrived in the shadows, leaving behind stories of victims whose lives were stolen silently, waiting to be told. Every move, every choice, every moment was part of his dark system. The lesson Samuel leaves behind is clear: evil can continue as long as the world is blind, and there is always a hidden darkness that only reveals itself after leaving unforgettable traces of tragedy. The night is long, and we're just getting started. If you enjoy dark stories, leave a like and subscribe. More is coming.